to reopen after weeks of being shut down by a global pandemic. Public health officials, including members of the White House task force, are warning about the risks of sending people out into the world too soon. So when is the right time? We'll get to that question in a moment. But first, the latest headlines. The coronavirus death toll in the U.S. has risen to more than 53,000, and the number of cases is inching closer to 1 million. There currently are close to 938,000 in this country. The World Health Organization caused some confusion on Saturday after reporting there is no evidence that people who had coronavirus would be immune from getting it again. That, of course, would be a major public health setback. The WHO later clarified a bit, saying it does believe people who are infected will develop some level of antibody protection, but it's too soon to know for sure. And during a webcast on Saturday, Dr. Anthony Fauci said the U.S. should be testing twice as many people as it is currently before we begin reopening the economy and society at large. Dr. Fauci says he believes that will happen in the next couple of weeks. But let's begin this morning with the first stages of reopening the country's economy. The state of Georgia has been out front in getting some of its citizens back to work. And that's where we find NBC's Sam Brock in Atlanta. Sam, good morning.
Willie, good morning. Georgia was already ahead of the curve when it comes to opening up salons, spas, and gyms within the last 48 hours. Now, restaurants and movie theaters slated to open tomorrow. But many owners are telling me, Willie, they're taking a wait-and-see approach.
For business owners waiting for weeks.
It's been horrible. I mean, I've had to close down.
A heavy lift is now over, with gyms like Cardin's Classic in Marietta, Georgia, back in business.
As soon as the governor did open things for us, God, I must have gotten 120 texts that day.
2 days after Governor Brian Kemp gave the thumbs up for tattoo parlors, nail salons, and spas to reopen, among other shops, we found plenty of closed doors and others reopening with adjustments.
I think from now, things are going to change.
The Brazilian beauty spa outside of Atlanta now requiring employees and customers to wear masks, paperless transactions, and constant sanitizing. It's a plan many states are trying to execute, with nearly 20 bringing back business in some way in the next week. South Carolina has already opened retail shops.
We are asking the customers to stay 6 feet away from each other, and also our employees.
Tennessee will bring back restaurants at half capacity tomorrow. The flurry of activity coming as the World Health Organization warns there isn't enough evidence about COVID-19 antibodies to guarantee the accuracy of an immunity passport, the idea that infected people can't get sick again. Though later tweeting for clarification, most will develop an antibody response, providing some level of protection. An important reminder as even states which have been cautious, like California, allow some residents back on beaches.
I just don't think we have to live in a cave the whole time. We have to get out.
As everyone looks for something to be heartened by.
Sam Brock in Atlanta. Sam, thanks so much. I'm joined now by Dr. Richard Besser. He's the former acting director of the CDC, now the head of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. Dr. Besser, good morning.